We want to start out this video a little bit differently because this is not a don't move to Cape Coral type video. We absolutely love Cape Coral. We live here, we work here, and we have helped tons of people move here. But we've also seen people move here and come to find out that this is really exactly what they had expected. Every time it comes down to expectations. Expectations about growth, about lifestyle, and what Cape Coral is becoming versus what people want it to be. So if you're thinking about moving to Cape Coral, this is not a video that's meant to scare you, but it is meant to help you be honest with yourself before you move down here. The first thing that I think is a deal breaker for some people when they move down here, or people that live here and have lived here a while, is the growth. We're growing.
Oh, yeah. But it was always the plan.
Always the plan. I like that. I don't know why that's news to
That
people.
was like the first thing that we saw about this city, is that it was planned originally to be over 240,000 residents. I thought 400,000.
Yeah,
That's
400,000.
residents.
I think we're at
Yeah.
about 200,000
Yeah.
residents right now. So we're only halfway there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think some people want it to still be the sleepy town that it was back in the 50s and
In
60s.
70s, yeah, when they grew up.
Yeah, I think a lot of the charm that people love about Cape Coral is there's a lot of mom and pop type shop feel. Like there's a lot of small business here.
It's like a sleepy little town.
Yeah, I mean, it is. It's a small town with a big city feel.
Yeah, remember when we moved down here first time and the liquor store wasn't open till like past 10 or something like that?
Right?
You're like,
I
"What
was
is
like,
this?"
coming from Denver, Colorado, I was like, what in the world is this actually about?
It was
Like,
wild.
I have no idea what to do. But Walgreens is usually open. I think
Yeah.
that's
Thank
where
you,
we
Walgreens.
found it.
Shout out.
But there's there's so much small business, and I keep saying it feels like a small town. That's because you walk into these places and everybody knows your name. It's like cheers.
Yeah.
But we're growing.
Mhm.
We were meant to grow outside of that, and new businesses are coming in. We have some of the bigger like brand names or chain stores like Target and Walmart. We've got some chain restaurants. You've got McDonald's,
You
Applebee's,
got a Chipotle.
a Chipotle, of
Yeah.
course. But I'm excited. There's so much new things coming
I
in,
agree.
but we're not seeing a lot of chain things come in.
Mm-mm.
I mean, we're getting new restaurants that, yeah, maybe a chain, but they have got like 4 locations here in Southwest Florida. But it's exciting. Like, I love to see that. I love to see the new things that are coming into our area, but there's so many people that don't want to see that.
Yeah, they're very opposed to it.
Yeah, I think we saw the first real taste of that when the Yacht Club plans came out. And the Yacht Club had a community center that was built in the 60s or 70s. And everybody's comments was, oh, I went to prom there.
Yeah, my prom was
But
there.
nobody used it for anything.
Yeah.
There just wasn't any appeal
Right.
to it. The Yacht Club pool was down there, which was nice for people that don't have a pool in their backyard, but it
Had that
wasn't
rec center feel.
it wasn't anything special. And now they're looking at building this resort style pool and this amazing community center and a parking garage. And oh my
Piers and
gosh.
everything. Yeah, and you would think that.
But when the parking garage came up, people lost their minds. They're like, we're
Mhm.
not Naples.
Yeah.
We're a sleepy little town. And while I love the sleepiness that we've been able to keep, even with all this growth, I think a lot of people are just opposed to anything.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I agree with you. And it's a lot of the folks that have like had those memories down here from when they were kids, right?
Yeah.
And they experience, swimming in the canals and all this kind of stuff that we just don't do anymore.
Yeah.
And that's what they want it to be. And it's just not that anymore.
And so I think what happens is people may have vacationed here years ago. They loved it. They absolutely loved the small town feel and everything. They get down here and they start to see construction and a little bit more traffic than they're used to. And suddenly it's now time for them to move away.
Yeah.
It's not what we talked about at the beginning. It's not their expectation of what they wanted when they moved down here. And so that is probably one of the number one reasons that we see people move away. But that is, I'll say it's one of the biggest complaints that we get. So if you're looking for a small town feel on the water, this and you don't want any growth, you want a sleepy little town, it might not
Cape
be.
Coral's not it.
It's not it.
Cape
Okay, but on the flip side, you get people down here that are expecting the opposite. They know we're a small town.
Mhm.
They know we're going to see a lot of growth,
Mhm.
and they're excited about that growth, but they expect us to be more like some of those other waterfront cities, like Tampa or Miami, and we're just not that.
We're never gonna be Tampa or Miami.
We're never going to be Tampa or Miami,
And thank
that
goodness.
I mean, for us, that's the draw for us. But we have people come down and go back to what you said about the liquor store not being
Yeah.
open. They're like, "What is this?" Where do we go out? Where do we go out dancing? And we've got places like the Dixie
Yeah, yeah,
Roadhouse,
yeah.
but we don't have a traditional downtown. It's a strip, one street.
It's a one-horse town.
Literally, it's one street. You go out at night, you go to that one street, and you go to dinner, and then maybe you bar hop, maybe you end up at the Dixie Roadhouse for a little line dancing.
I think she's trying to suggest something.
But that's and to me, that's the appeal of the small town. But
Yeah.
people that are coming here, they want to live on the water, and they want that like true like Florida lifestyle that they are used to seeing in. And I'll be honest, in any of those areas, Daytona,
Mhm.
Miami, Fort Lauderdale, even Naples, which isn't we are growing, yes, but we don't have those kind of amenities.
I
We
agree.
don't have that hustle and bustle.
Well, and I'll say for somebody like myself, I don't find myself in either camp from what we talked about. I find myself somewhere right in the middle, and I think it's perfect.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's the draw. It's not going to be for people who want the sleepy town. It's not going to be for people that want the big city life. It's somewhere right in the
Somewhere
middle.
Right in the middle.
Right in the middle.
Yeah.
And
Think island life with your laptop and just somewhere right there.
yeah, like I like that. So for people that are wanting either extreme, maybe not the best city for them.
No.
You want something in the middle? Come on down. It's
Absolutely.
perfect.
They're right here for you.
But let's move into, I don't hear many people if you're on like the forums or something, which is kind of what we did when we first moved down here. We wanted to jump on the forums. This topic didn't come up at all. And we didn't realize it until we moved down here and we're looking for homes down here.
Mhm.
I don't think a lot of other people realize this because we hear this from buyers that come down and are working with us. They're like, what is this? And that is the zoning of this place.
Mhm.
If you've grown up in a bigger city, I guess even a smaller city, they have these, and you're used to planned communities, right? Some builders come in, they have a certain set of lots that you can purchase. You build a house. Every house is somewhat similar. They're all from a handful of different builders. That is just not Cape
Not
Coral.
No.
No.
It's literally everywhere outside of Cape Coral.
Yeah,
But
but
it's
definitely
not Cape
Coral.
Yeah.
So, and I think that really throws people off.
Absolutely.
People are not used to the type of or the
Uniqueness.
the
Yeah.
structure of that. So when we're talking about that, Cape Coral is really nobody. Individuals own the lots, or maybe some companies
Mhm.
do, but for the most part, you go in, you find a lot that you want, you purchase the lot,
Mhm.
you find a builder, you build it.
Mhm.
Maybe
Whatever
some
you want.
combination of that. Maybe the builder owns the lot or
Yeah.
whatever, and you find a thing. But they're not. You could build over here, you could build over here, and you
Yeah.
can build over here. It's not dependent on when the builder is releasing lots or
Correct.
anything like
Yeah.
that. A lot of times when I'm talking to other real estate agents, they have on their website and they're like, explore all the neighborhoods. And I'm like, I don't even know how to do that out here because there's no true neighborhood. There's just kind of areas.
Yeah.
I mean, there are some specific neighborhoods,
There's
yes,
a few, yeah.
but the majority of Cape Coral is just very similar.
Yeah.
It's hit and miss. You're going to walk down one street and you're going to find 1960s houses. You're going to find brand new construction, and you're going to find empty lots.
Yeah.
And in your backyard, if you're
Burrowing owls.
and burrowing owls. And if you're not careful and pay attention to those lots next to you, you may have a gas station going
That's
in
right.
or
And it happens a lot.
a multifamily because the zoning is just a little chaotic. I'm not quite sure. I wish I was in the meeting when they
Yeah.
decided how they were gonna zone Cape Coral because it doesn't quite make sense to me. But you have residential houses on the main streets.
Mhm.
You have, multifamily homes kind of
Yeah.
tucked inside communities.
Yeah.
It's very unique,
Yeah.
and some people just can't deal with that.
Correct. Yeah.
They don't want that.
They want the uniform, they want the master plan, they want all that kinda stuff. They don't want the uniqueness, or they can't handle it.
Yeah, and I will say it's not bad. Now that we've lived down here for a while, it's not bad. It doesn't necessarily bother me.
No.
I've come accustomed to it.
Yeah.
But if you're not there's nothing online about that. Nobody's talking about that. Nobody if you're looking to move to Cape Coral, you don't really realize that until you're out looking at houses and you're like, "Oh, hey, out in front of my house." I remember we showed a house and like right out front of this house was this massive like 3-story assisted living facility. And they're like,
Mm.
"Well, that's a lovely site that blocks
Yeah.
all my sunsets." And I'm like, "That's
It's
I
just
hate to say it,
what it is, yeah.
that's just Cape Coral."
Well, and the facility you're talking about was just recently built too. So the house was built prior to that, which at one point it was an empty lot, right?
Yeah.
And so that was built afterwards, and
So you have to be very
cl
careful about zoning. You have to be okay with that uniqueness. If you're looking for a planned development community,
yeah.
maybe not exactly what you're looking for out here. Or you're going to have to be, I'm not going to say it's not necessarily what you're looking for. You're going to have to be a little bit more selective with where you buy because there are areas like Sandoval that are planned development
And the
communities
lakes
and
are
have
good.
an
Yeah.
HOA and everything
Yeah.
like that. So you have to be a little bit more selective
Mhm.
when you're looking at that.
Just talk to somebody that knows the area that can guide you a little bit better.
Yeah. So all of that said, we've talked about the growth being a deal breaker for some, the on the flip side, small town sleepy feel that we still have being a deal breaker for others.
Mhm.
And then the uniqueness of the housing and everything being just something that people have to adapt to. They either, don't mind it or they hate it. There's not really
And in between.
an in between.
Yep.
But let's talk about so people are leaving Cape Coral, right? And people that are looking to move here are always like, "Why are you leaving? Why are you leaving?"
Yep.
So, wait, you touched on this a little bit earlier, but people are leaving for a few different reasons. Um, one or some of the main ones being exactly what we've talked about. They were here early,
Mhm.
they see the growth, they don't like the growth, they're ready to go back.
Right.
Or they're trying to go to be closer to family.
Generational purposes, right? Their grandkids are here, they wanna be with their families, and they're going back up. The other one is investors that bought in during the height of the market that are looking to liquidate as well, but that doesn't really skew the numbers in any way, shape, or form.
No. No, but
That's just a business thing.
ironically, we don't see a lot of people leaving because,
They don't like the lifestyle?
yeah, like
No.
that's the people, they may not like the growth and they may not like the traffic and they're going to complain about it,
Mhm.
but they won't leave because the lifestyle is so amazing.
I have had people say, "Yeah, we're gonna go up and be with our grandkids or whatever, we're gonna sell our house, but we're gonna come back here every year and rent."
Yeah, people I feel like once you make it to Cape Coral, you typically
There's nothing like it.
you don't leave very easily. And then even then people that are coming down here and there's not a lot there's not a lot of nightlife or anything like that. Again, people still complain about it. And guess what? They go across the bridge, go to
Yep,
downtown Fort Myers.
yep.
They'll drive down
Fort
to
Myers Beach.
Yeah, Fort Myers Beach, Naples. They're
Mhm.
gonna go to Mercado
Yep,
or something like
yep.
that. We've got so much close by that you can, if that's really important to your lifestyle, you can incorporate that. But people are staying despite that. And again, even the planned community thing, people get down here. It was weird for us at first coming from a massive. We lived in a massive
I think
HOA.
one of the largest in the US, actually.
Is it? Probably. In Denver is Highlands Ranch, if you know anything about it. Coming from there to here was a complete 180. A
Yes.
complete 180. And I remember for those first 6 months, even though we knew about that when we moved down, for the first, 6 months, it was like, this is annoying. This is ridiculous. And now it doesn't bother me at all.
I agree. Well, and on top of that, though, I was a little afraid that, we were gonna have neighbors that glued teapots to their roof. Ask me how I know, but back from Colorado, I was concerned about not being in an HOA because, the oversight of the HOA kind of keeps everything nice and clean. There is no HOA out here. There is code enforcement, obviously, so you can't, leave things like RVs or boats out front, whatever, to, degrade the look of the property. But everything looks still upkept. It's nice, you know?
Yeah.
I don't think it's needed. The HOA, that is.
But here's the thing. Every city is going to have things that you're not going to like or not
Absolutely.
love, but you go there or you move there and you stay for the lifestyle. And that is one thing that Cape Coral is just, it's such a unique lifestyle that you truly can't find, in my opinion, anywhere else in this country. Waterfront, 400 miles of canals. Like, we have more canals than Venice, which Venice, that's literally what they're known for.
Yeah.
We have canals everywhere. The water, like, so that lifestyle of being on the water is just ingrained in everybody. We get the best of both worlds. We have a sleepy town. We have mom and pop. Everybody knows your name. You walk into the bar on a Friday night, and Michael already has your Coors Light popped for you
Thanks,
because
Michael.
you know what I mean? But we still get some of those. It's that sleepy town, but we're getting this new growth, new exciting things moving in, that just, in my opinion, enhance the lifestyle that we're living.
I agree.
And that's really just the most beautiful thing ever. Even if you want a sleepy lifestyle, even if you want growth, or even if you were kind of like the master community better, I think those things all come second nature to the lifestyle.
I agree. The lifestyle is second to none here.
Absolutely.
It's fantastic.
So is moving to Cape Coral a mistake? No, but Cape Coral just isn't everything. And honestly, that is the beauty of our city. We don't have the nightlife of Miami, and we don't have the density or energy of Tampa, but we do have water everywhere. You have plenty of space to breathe. And we get to have that slower lifestyle while still living in a bigger city. And for the right people, that trade-off isn't a downside. It is literally the whole entire point. So in this video, we're not saying Cape Coral is perfect. I don't think that any place could ever be perfect. But it's about helping you understand why it works so well for people and why those people tend to stay long term.